Aware and Wadi, my people. My name is Courtney Thomas and I'm a creative entrepreneur based in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. And today I wanted to talk about being locked in spec mode as a creative. You know what I mean? So whether you're a graphic designer, photographer, um, artist, fashion designer, musician, rapper, whatever it is, I find that a lot of us get stuck in spec mode. You see, we make projects for ourselves a lot of the time. We're always making spec work that the world never really gets to see. Yes, you'll see some people, including myself, who will post like a few cute reels here and there, but it never really advances and progresses to a point where you posting client work. And for myself personally, I don't post a lot of client work because that's not really what the aesthetic that I want for my social media pages. But there is platforms that I will put somewhere here where you can find the client work that I've done. But anyway, let's get back into it. What I really wanted to dive into is like the concept of spec mode means that you don't ever leave the bedroom section of your production or creative life, you see. When you start off, it's all cute and games, you know what I mean? It's all cute, it's all funny. Like for myself, for example, I downloaded Fruity Loops, or I was given a copy by a good friend of mine, and I was making beats and that kind of thing. I got quite good at it. I was making like some really dope tracks and that kind of thing. But the question was always, where is the money though? You know, like that's the most important thing, because your people around you are gonna support and like really love what you're doing and say, hey, this music is dope, fam. Hey, that track was, it's fire, fam. But then after a while, it's gonna be like, people are gonna get tired of receiving your links, bro, without you doing something dope. You've been rapping for 5 years, but we don't even have one video of you performing on stage. Do you know what I mean? Your tracks are not passing 100 views over 5 years, fam. And it's like, we start to consider, and we start, as the people that support, we're like, hey, bro, this thing needs to be leveled up. And I'm not speaking about this from a point of inexperience. I have realistic with experience with posting tracks that didn't get more than even 10 views. So yeah, I am talking about 100 views, you know what I mean? And there's certain projects that we've done as creatives, as a creative collection, you know what I mean, me and my team, that haven't even made us money yet, but those projects paid us so much in experience and just life lessons, you know what I mean? Because we were fucked over by people. Some of the projects that we released, we didn't release properly, and we learned from that to say like, yo, these projects that you're releasing, whether it's a song, whether it's a piece of art, a graphic design, a clothing line, a foundation, whatever it is that you're releasing, it has to make money, and you have to think of that thing as a product. You can't go to the studio and just waste time. Do you know what I mean? Recording 500 tracks and you don't even have a plan for how you're going to monetize them. And I think it's also good that I give some advice or like drop some knowledge on how you should think about it, the mentality that you should have when it comes to songs. So let's just dive into it, or think of it like this, right? Every song that you produce is a product. So think about Lobels having different flavors of biscuits. Lobels is a company in Zimbabwe that deals in baked goods. They make biscuits, bread, whatever, a whole assortment of goods. But think of yourself like that, right? You are a business that produces products as a rapper, so you're producing songs. You have a catalog of 10 songs. That's basically 10 different flavors of your product, yeah? So each time you're dropping a song, it's like you're releasing a new flavor of your product, whether it's biscuits, sweets, whatever it is, right? And you've got to make sure that it sells, because there's certain things that went into the manufacturing of that product. There was studio time, transport, your juice, whatever you were drinking, and that kind of thing. There's an episode of the 1 Minute Podcast where I speak about this thing. Go search that on YouTube and run up the views on that one as well. But you invest a certain amount of money into that song. Time, drip, whatever, photo shoots, calling your people to come and be in those video things, your video vixens, all that kind of thing. That's another topic we're going to talk about one day. But maybe you've spent now $1,000 just to produce that song, and then you're going to just share it on WhatsApp once. As soon as it drops, maybe the videographer sends you the video, the engineer sends you the final mix and master. and then you upload that onto Spotify, you share it onto your Instagram story, you share it onto wherever you're going to share it once, twice, maybe you push that song for a week and you forget about it. That essentially means that you've lost $1,000 US. And if I have to think about it from my own perspective, we've done maybe more than 20 projects where we haven't taken them seriously. And only now, at a more mature age, do we understand the concept of everything that you release online is a product. Even those little skits that you're doing, those little reels, that content that you're producing for your little makeup store there, bro, is serious shit, fam. Like, you gotta look at it as a product. Look at the insights, look at the analytics there on Instagram. Don't just use Instagram like a toy to look at bums. Do you know what I mean? When you post content, bro, take it seriously, fam. Look at what's trending. How can you grow? Are you converting? For example, I may not have a lot of followers, but every time I post a reel, I make sure that the amount of views and engagement that I'm getting from those posts is always going to be more than my following. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, or like I should explain, I'm also learning the game. So as much as I'm giving you knowledge, you all should give me back knowledge in the comment section and be like, yo, bro, I think the framing for this YouTube thing that you're doing is not right. Why don't you try and change the set that you're working on? Because I'm not the type of person that's going to come on here and say I know everything about everything. You know what I mean? I will admit, yes, I have worked in a lot of industries or departments within the creative industry, but I still got a lot to learn. Do you know what I mean? I need to learn about using the correct lens for the correct settings and all that kind of thing. But the whole point of this episode, and I think I actually strayed quite far away from it, is that your creative career should be fruitful to you. You should make money from it. You should gain knowledge from it. You should always be learning, always be cooking. It shouldn't just be a thing where you're sitting in your boxes in your bedroom making beats the whole day that never ever see the light of day. You know what I mean? When you shoot shit, excuse the language, when you shoot shit, fam, we need to see it. When you paint stuff, when you produce clothing, we need to see it actually in the market and not just as a post on Instagram. Let's see a marketing campaign being implemented into the way you're doing things. Let's see you doing things that actually can convince investors to buy into your product. And I'm on that same journey right now where I'm trying to brand myself, my music brand, my graphic design brand, all professionally. And it's gonna take time because I will admit in the beginning when we started, everything was la-di-da, but now we understand the importance of, for example, of things like spreadsheets, because it's not just about making music, it's about tracking progress and making sure that the steps that you are trying to implement for yourself are actually working and things are fruitful. You shouldn't ever stay in a such a situation where you like trying to be a rapper, but it's clear that your tracks ain't dope, fam, but you're maybe better at mixing and mastering. You know, sometimes it's okay to humble yourself and just be that guy behind the keyboard that does the minimalistic things. You don't always have to be front and center shiny. Do you know what I mean? And I think we should end this episode here, because if we carry on going and going and going and going and going, it's gonna be long. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel.